welcome back. You're listening to Dad Crossing, a podcast about animals and parenting. Today marks roughly 4 months. Can you believe that? 4 months since we were hoping for Animal Crossing New Horizon news at E3. Where we got no news. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. But Nintendo dropped us some good news in the last Direct, so we are going to go through some predictions and even what we would love to see in the ACNH Direct this Friday. So, for old time's sakes, Sean, drop that beat.
Yeah.
Sean, we are back, man. We are back. Dad Crossing is back. Does it feel good to be back?
It feels good to know that I now have to watch my tongue and not drop any kind of... We've done nearly like 6 to 8 months of Game Pass news, so now we're back to this. It's kind of like, right, okay, we can't say everything we'd like to say.
Yeah, that's totally true. And for those of you who watch Game Pass news, you're probably like, wow, I didn't know Nick said those words. So, we have a Direct tomorrow in like, 24 hours, less than 24 hours at this point, from when we're recording this, but, time happens in these things. So, what would you like to see in this this Animal Crossing Direct? What do you think they're going to throw at us?
I'd like to see some more terraforming updates, specifically having access to the higher level of the island, because there's a whole range of things up there that, well, I'd like to move my house higher up the island. So I launched my save for it after I transferred everything to the OLED. And yeah, I got told off by a lot of my residents. I had really scruffy hair and I had cockroaches. So you can tell how it's been roughly about 4 months since I played it.
Yeah, so let's do it hot fire. So like I'll say one, you say one, and you might beat me because I think you have more than I have. So I'm just gonna be honest with that. Actually, I thought of another one. I would like to see tunnels. So like another way to say it is land bridges. So you can you could put something on your second level and then you could walk under it. Right now you can't do that, and not like bridges, but but even if it was a bridge, you still can't do that. I like to see land bridges where you can walk under stuff. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, or even like be able to run water underneath. So you've got that crossover looking.
That would be so cool. Yeah, that would be great.
Zelda items. So we had the Mario items, the 35th anniversary of Mario. So we want something similar to that. So instead of coins, we've got rupees. All the different outfits. I thought pots and being able to pick the pots up and carry them around and put them down would be pretty good, because that's one of the key elements to Zelda, is that you can smash lots of pots. The chickens, either just figures of the chickens, or like if they could have them moving around, that'd be hilarious. And then like collectibles, so like little Guardian toys. Yeah, so you could have them on the shelf and stuff like that. It's kind of like a bit like what you've got there with the amiibo behind you, but that kind of size. So yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Zelda items would be really cool. I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. It needs to not... I don't want it to be like they did Mario items, where they're like, now just go to the third tab on your phone and you'll be able to order. Make beetles come to the island. People coming to the island is the coolest thing, I think. It's what makes Animal Crossing cool. Have beetles wash up on the shore or come in a little Wind Waker boat. Wouldn't that be awesome? And he just sells stuff from the Wind Waker boat or something. I mean, I think that would be so cool.
They missed it massively by not having Captain Toad come out and do that.
Yeah, that's how these items should be sold, not in this sterile just go to the third tab on the whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I completely agree with that. I think Zelda items would be cool. I wonder, not that they can't do it, they can do whatever they want, but I wonder if we've missed the Zelda boat at this point for those items. Like, is it still a thing? Like, are people?
I think with Skyward Sword just recently been released and all the hype building for Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good opportunity to kind of keep that hype trend. It fills the gap between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, would it bring you back?
Yes. To be honest, whatever they say in this Direct is probably going to bring me back to play the game a little bit more, some new stuff to do. I mean, I've still got like a lot of things collecting wise to get, so bugs, fish. It's just obviously I get busy doing other things or making other podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. It would bring me back for a hot second. Maybe to pull all the weeds in my island. I'll be honest. I haven't been on in
I'm not looking forward to
3 months, probably 3-4 months, something like that. I just fell off of it really hard. I mean, I just didn't really have anything left to do. I literally, the thing I was trying to do was to collect all of the Nook Miles achievements, and I just gave up on it. I was like, no, this is just silly. I'm just doing it to do it, and I just gave up on it. So Zelda items would bring me back for a hot second. Am I gonna redo my island to add Zelda items into it? I don't think I'm gonna take that task on. I'm sorry. I just don't know that it would bring me back in to do that.
I created a Mario room in the top floor in the house, but then just dotted pipes around and little items, just so then it was kind of like blended in with it. And I'd probably do the same with the Zelda stuff. I'd maybe wipe out that top room, make it all Zelda, just for the fact that they can make it all Zelda, and then probably use, like, especially if they did the pots, I'd put the pots near like the Nook's cranny and stuff like that, so kind of like look like a shopping. So I'd just do stuff like that.
Yeah, I probably would too, and I would definitely jump in to buy it, but I don't know about that. Okay, next for me, gyroids. This is something that would bring me back for a long period of time. You used to be able to dig them up out of the ground. There were all these different sets. You could put them around your. You could put them in your house, or it was one of the few things you could put outside in Animal Crossing. You could put them right outside your door. You couldn't put them anywhere you wanted. Just like you could put 3 of them, I think, right outside your door. So if I could collect gyroids, I would come in every day until I had them all collected. I just know I would. Like I would jump in, I would run around, find all the stars, dig them up, and then I'd be done for that day. That would bring me back hard. So, what else you got?
Harvesting. So we're coming into autumn. Obviously, I think at the moment Jack's there on the island. So if you're still playing, Jack's on your island. He's doing all the Halloween stuff. The pumpkins are back, which is when we then first saw last year the ability to grow our vegetable. Now they've had 12 months, 12 whole months to work on the ability to harvest those and do something with them other than just DIYs, but also to kind of like write in, okay, so people liked growing pumpkins. Let's let them grow corn through the, like in the summer, let's let them grow this, like, you know, seasonal items that you can grow all the time. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah. I had the big prediction that your pumpkins would die at some point after like November, into December. Your pumpkins would die and you'd start growing poinsettias. Well, that's where my prediction went. But you can.
I think I've still got my whole pumpkin patch is still there from last year.
Yeah, you can grow pumpkins as long as you choose, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I think that would be great if they would do something. They added this mechanic in for one holiday. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. So
no.
To be so I don't really have those are my 2 big ones. I want a land bridge. I want gyroids. I can't think of anything else that would bring me back and really make me stick around. Those 2 things would do that. I'll leave the next one to you because this is kind of one that I'm on with you. So you'd give your next one and I can join in.
The mini games.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So yeah, mini games. So let us build like crazy golf courses. So you know we can put things down like windmills. You could make them curved. Basically, we've got all the tools to terraform paths and things like that. Let us terraform little putting greens and place a hole, which, pitfall seeds can create holes. So why can't we just, they've got all the mechanics there. And so you step up, line up the ball, not make it so you've got to choose which angle it goes at, but basically where you could just walk around and, you hit the ball, you guaranteed almost a hole in one, or even if you guaranteed a hole in one every time, if the course works. Mm-hmm. But that's the fun part of it, that you've got all the whole building aspect of making the course and then sharing it with other people, and it brings that kind of thing. And then where I've written here with like track and field type stuff, give us the ability to run against each other. Like, have a timer, 3, 2, 1, go, and the person that can you all run at a similar speed, but you could put obstacles in the way, to run around. It's the person gets from A to B the fastest. Just things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. I think if they would take the items they have currently and make them functional, it would be pretty awesome. Take the basketball and make it functional. Let me be able to play a game of basketball with somebody. Like, just you walk on, you set up the 2 baskets and you grab the ball and somehow it says, "Hey, would you like to play a game of basketball with your friend?" Sure. And then just real simple mechanics. I'm not looking for, something suit NBA 2K whatever. I'm just looking for something super simple here, where there's
so
something.
So you're not wanting the whole boom shakalaka.
Yeah, exactly. Just something simple, and just think they could move that into being like they could do stuff on March Madness, or I don't know if that's big anywhere else in the country or in the world. I don't really know, but they could move that into other things. And then there's the soccer field or the soccer goals. Do the same thing with that. So like when the World Cup's going on, be like, you could have, if you set up these 2 goals, you could have like people come around and play soccer, and you could make it.
Yeah,
you could do such cool things with it.
And then to add to that, you could buy your own, like your home team's football kit. So it's a football kit in the colours of your home team. So like England's would be red and white. You guys would have, red, white, and blue, a little logo, like a little American flag logo. The UK has the Great Britain logo, or the England, like the red, the St. George Cross. So let us have those things. We said this when we were playing the game, and while we were originally doing the bi-weekly podcast, like, let us have the things that we want, like in terms of being able to make it our own game, because the ability to do that is there, and it sometimes feels like you're kind of restricted to a point. And I think that's what made me drop off, is that there was so much you could do, but you could get so far with it, and you're like, oh, if only I could do this. And then you're kind of like, well, I'm done with that now. So
yeah. No, and I mean, the other thing that we really need to see, I guess this would be another thing I would like to see, but is really needed in this game if you're going to do any of this, is a more stable network for bringing people together. I mean, I created an island for us to have the dinner table podcast. 8 people agreed to show up, and we could never get more than 4 on an island before it all crashed down and burned. I mean, it needs to be more stable for any of this to work, and I hope. And I wonder, I know they had talked about, there had been rumors, and the Nintendo dads had talked about Nintendo upgrading their network, and they moved Mario Party to not the one that's about to come out, but the one that already came out a few years ago. They moved that to being more online. So I don't know, I'm hoping that maybe some of this networking stuff will filter down to Animal Crossing, which will make all this possible. That's my hope. So
yeah.
So let's not bury the
last thing.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry, you have another one. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, sorry. So the last thing I'd like to see is an island expansion, but not one that you go away from, but basically you get to build a bridge to a neighboring island, and on there's new shops, so different kinds of stuff. A more see, the last of the 3 Able sisters, she's finally got her high-end fashion shop that she wanted to open up on her own. Off you go over there. You can buy different items in her shop every day, as well as the Able sisters. A bigger Nook's Cranny. So Nook's Cranny turns into instead of it being a mini mart, turn it into a supermarket where, more items are available daily, different, choices in paints. Let's be able to paint fences, things like that. So, you open up your customization a little bit more.
Yeah, let's not forget, we have a dock. Like not a Switch dock, but like a literal dock on our island. Everybody does, and there is that animal. There is that beloved Cap'n that everybody loves. Yep. That is MIA in this game, 100%. So you could have Cap'n roll up to your dock, and you could go over to another island, and do whatever. Maybe even play these games we're talking about, right? I mean, you could have that be however you want it. So. Yeah, and we'll touch on this again when we get into predictions and talking about DLC and stuff, because I if there's DLC, it's this stuff, if you ask me. But let's stop burying the lead. What do we actually know about it? What do we know is coming?
I know nothing. So I can't. There was hints. There was a hint. Something different's going to change in the museum. So are we going to see the return of the barista? In the museum.
Okay, wait. We're definitely seeing Brewster. Brewster has been showing. I mean, my background is Brewster's Restaurant. So, or our
Right.
background is Brewster's Restaurant. So that is a definite. Brewster's going to be in the museum. And who, do you remember the episode long, long ago? Who called this? It was Ninji. Found it in the code
Yeah.
forever ago. And said, yeah,
Um,
there was this open room in the museum that he found in the code, and there was going to be. He didn't know if it was going to be Brewster, but he conjectured that it could be Brewster or an open shop or like an open room where we could put art. And sure enough, he was not wrong. So it took a long time.
no, he was right with the art stuff. So it was at the time where we were getting Red coming to the island. He predicted Red's arrival. So.
Yeah, so we don't know what Brewster I mean, we know what he looks like, but we don't know how it's going to function, if it's going to function like in previous games or not, but he's coming to our islands, to our museum. Do you think he's just going to pop in, or do you think we're going to have to build something? Like, I don't know, pay for like a museum expansion?
Probably, yeah, we might have to pay for a museum expansion, and even it'd be good if we could have to like go and find the materials to do it as well, so...
Yeah. What if they did something crazy, like brought coffee beans into the harvesting game? That would be really cool. You had to supply.
That would be very.
It would be. You'd have to supply Brewster his beans to make his coffee, and he'll give you some random, items or whatever. That would be cool. I could see it. So what? So other than what we know, what else do you think there's going to be?
I think we need some new residents. So I think there is residents missing from the roster in Animal Crossing New Horizons that was in previous rosters on previous games. So new residents would be pretty good, because I know a lot of people chase down their favorites. So
yeah.
What? So I think that might be something that we see.
I've heard rumors that there's going to be a new series of cards for the new Horizon animals that are new, the new characters that are new that don't have cards. I could see that. I could also see this entering into, especially in this age of it's really hard to find stuff and all that jazz, and costs them a lot of money now to ship stuff and make stuff. What if they made these series of cards digital and it was literally DLC? What if you could spend X amount of dollars for a pack of digital DLC cards, and you could just pick your digital amiibo character and have him show up on your island?
Yeah, or even make it an in-app purchase in Pocket Camp.
Yeah.
Linking the two games together.
Yeah.
So you go and you purchase that, basically the amiibo card in Pocket Camp, and for the price of paying for it as an in-app purchase, not only do you get them in Pocket Camp, but you also get a digital code that you can use to download it to Animal Crossing New Horizons. That way, then they're giving new content to both Pocket Camp and New Horizons at the same time.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. What else you think?
We're going to see some paid DLC. There's got to be some paid. They can't continue to develop this game without some form of extra money coming in from somewhere. And if they're not going to be able to do physical cards or physical amiibos because of the shipping issues, the pandemic has crushed a lot of the shipping industry and the retail industry in some sorts. So, they're going to have to maybe do some kind of digital DLC for the game.
What if you bought
how islands? They work that? Yeah. I was thinking that's the thing. I was thinking that you could either buy an island to go to and carry it, like start afresh kind of thing. Have different residents live on different islands. So you could have an island just for your jock style residents, and you could have Peppy Island where all your residents are Peppy on that island, and you can get a collection of people. But doing it that way as well, it doesn't affect if somebody hasn't got the DLC, that they can still come to your island, and there isn't an issue where certain items or certain areas are blocked off for them. So.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way I could see to do it. Unless I pay for the DLC and I get all these cool items, I don't think items can be DLC. And I've said this I mean, I'll probably be proven wrong tomorrow, but I've said this for as long as I've been doing podcasts for Animal Crossing. If you pay for DLC for items, then what you have to do is this weird thing of like, oh, I can't give you this item. It won't let me because you didn't pay for it and I did, and so you can't have it. And I don't know. I mean, it just seems messy, and well, actually, now that I keep talking about it, it kind of seems Nintendo-like, to be honest. Unfortunately,
I was going to say you've kind of described everything that Nintendo does. The whole process of transferring Animal Crossing from one device to another is a complete
mess.
Pain in the bum.
Yeah. It seems messy and difficult. All right, this is probably what they're gonna do. No, but it makes more sense to me. I really think that dock needs to be used for something. I think if you have an in-app purchase for an island, you could go to a separate island that you can create. Maybe you go to an island that's like a sports island where you can drop your, like I was saying, your basketball and soccer or football. Sorry, my bad. All your sports stuff. And do it that way. Maybe you have an island. I don't know. They could keep going. You have a golf island, like you're saying, where your terraforming turns into terraforming for golf courses. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, so all that.
Yeah. So sticking in the line of predictions, how do you think this is going to start? How do you think the Direct's going to start? Do you think we're going to just see Tom Nook like pan out from his face and him say hello, or do you think it's going to be Isabelle like the morning announcement, or do you think they're just going to like drop it straight away and have like Cap'n coming in on his boat to the side of the island? And how would, if you were Nintendo and you know how many people like this game, how are you going to do it? Are you going to roll it and get everybody in complete shock and awe, or are you going to start with suspense?
No, I think you're going to start with what you know is coming. I think you're going to start with Isabelle, and she's going to be doing morning announcements, and then she's going to talk about we have a surprise new addition to the island. It's going to roll over to Tom Nook over by the museum with Blathers, and they're going to do like there's going to be like a tent thing, and it's going to be like boo, and now it's going to walk Brewster. It's going to open up to the little extra room, which is, we know, probably the restaurant. We're almost 100% sure that's Brewster's little coffee shop restaurant. And Brewster's going to walk out of there. And I think that's going to be the intro. That's how I would do the intro if I was going to do it. And
then what, as the tail off, give us everything that we kind of know what's coming. And then at the tail end of it, be like, just one more thing. How like they normally do with the Nintendo Directs. It's like, here's just one more thing before we finish.
Well, actually, I agree with that, except for the fact that they have been moving away from the one more things. They haven't done it in the last couple of Directs. But yeah, I mean, something like that. And then they'll move into something not lame, I'm sorry. But something something you're like, oh my God, they're going to spend the whole rest of this 15 minutes on this one thing, aren't they? And it's going to be like, now there's a new set of amiibo cards. Let us go through all of them. And like, you just see them flipping through and you're going to be like, oh, this is it.
For anyone that watches this that's going to join us tomorrow for the live reaction to the Direct, that's probably where me and Nick will go, well, that's everything for now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you'll see 15 minutes of me and Nick with us phones going.
Yeah. That's I hate to admit it, but I think that, they're going to do that, and then they're going to hit us with something. It can't just be that. It's got to be something pretty big. Otherwise, the community will just be like, the community will be happy for Brewster's, but if it's just Brewster's, you can go in there and have a cup of coffee. I don't know if the community will be super excited about that. They'll be excited that he's there, but I don't know. They waited too long if that's all it is, in my opinion.
Yeah. Too long to give us any news about it as well, because it's been 4 months. Like, we were hoping for something at E3, so
yeah. We really thought we took we're off for a month, and we thought we'll be back at E3 for sure. There you go. Any other predictions?
No, I think we've covered quite a lot. There's a lot there that we'd like. There's a lot there that we'd like, and a lot there that we know we're going to get, and then hopefully a couple of surprises. So,
all right, well, guys.
They could do anything.
Wait, I gotta turn it around. Come and join us at that time right there tomorrow at one of those times, or somewhere in between, depending upon what time you are. So, why don't you take us out, Sean?
So, I haven't done this outro for a long time, so this is going to be fun. Dad Crossing is part of the Nintendo Dad's family of podcasts. You can find new Nintendo Dad content wherever podcasts are found. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter and I believe still Instagram. I need to double check that. Everything is at Dad Crossing. We want to give the Nintendo dads a big thanks for asking us to do this prediction video and allowing us to kind of keep Dad Crossing going in the background. So from myself and Nick, we hope your island is still sunny and your villagers are still happy. See you later.
See you later, guys.